Good evening. Hey, I like a response. This is good. I'm so happy to see all of you here. Welcome to the Spring 2021 graduate commencement for the College of Humanities, Arts, Social Sciences, and Education. You see, I still have to look down to read that because it's new enough that it's hard to remember all the words. My name is Brian Berry, and I'm the Vice Provost for Research and Dean of the Graduate School. And I just want to say welcome to our faculty, to our administrators, and most importantly, to you, the graduates. For those of you that are watching online, at home, or in the parking lot, or wherever you're going to receive your graduate, welcome. Congratulations, graduates. You should be proud of what you have achieved. We know this ceremony is not what you had envisioned. I've got a secret for you. It's not what we had envisioned either. We have all had to adjust to this new environment that I very much hope will return to normal soon. We have made every effort to safely deliver a ceremony that is both meaningful to you and that still carries some of the traditions that we hold dear. From the mace to the banner, these symbols are rich in history. Take the robes and the hoods you're wearing. When I was sitting in your place as a graduate student graduating, I had no idea as to their origin. Why do we wear graduation robes? Why do we add hoods for masters and doctoral graduates? It turns out that the robes and the hoods originated out of necessity. Scholars, those who have been trained at the university, were expected to continue learning after leaving the institution. To do so, they would need to spend long hours in the cold, damp libraries of the 12th and 13th centuries. So upon graduation, they were given hooded robes to protect them from these conditions. This tradition is a good reminder that this event today does not commemorate an end to your learning. In fact, as the tradition of the robes tells us, we're actually here to celebrate the beginning of your next phase of learning. I hope you never stop learning and growing. For meaningful change to happen, the world needs more people willing to dig deeper and learn more. It needs more people just like you. Tonight, we have distinguished persons seated near the stage, and it is my pleasure to introduce them to you. I ask each person to rise as I announce your name. Chancellor Christina Drell. Associate Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, Dr. Aaron Fenzer. Interim Associate Dean of the Graduate School, Dr. Karen Cross. Dean of the College of Humanities, Arts, Social Sciences, and Education, Dr. Sarah Beth Estes. Associate Dean of the College of Humanities, Arts, Social Sciences, and Education, Dr. Johanna Miller-Lewis. Associate Dean of the Colleges of Humanities, Arts, Social Sciences, and Education, Dr. Olaf Hirschelman. And the GSA We Heart Our Faculty Award winner, Dr. Barbara Laflatiere. At this time, it is my pleasure to welcome to the stage the Chancellor of the University of Arkansas at Little Rock, Dr. Christina Drell.
So some of you will have to kind of crane to see me behind this giant podium. They've actually brought a little stool for me, but it put me up so high that I thought, okay, I'll just skip that. You'll just have to work a little harder. All right. Well, it is a great pleasure to be with you this evening. And as soon as I get to the starting page of my comments, I will start to share them with you. So, good evening. It is my pleasure to be with you for this ceremony, celebrating the culmination of your graduate studies. On behalf of the University of Arkansas at Little Rock, I congratulate you. As you prepare for the next chapter of your life, this is a good time to reflect on what you've learned and what you'll be taking with after you graduate. In your time with us at UA Little Rock, you have been developing a mighty toolbox that you will use to find new pathways and new solutions to the challenges ahead. If this last year has shown us anything, it's the importance of adaptability and resilience in the face of uncertainty. But that's exactly what you've been working on. As a graduate student, you have greatly expanded your capacity to adapt to novel situations and thrive in a rapidly changing environment. You have developed a discipline of the mind that will enable you to approach the unknown with confidence. To put it simply, you have learned how to keep learning and keep developing new potential for the rest of your life. And you'll notice a kind of theme, a repeating theme of our comments this evening about looking forward and using what you know to keep learning. So as you step out into the rush of opportunity, I encourage you to remember the positive relationships you developed at UA Little Rock and continue to cultivate kindness and generosity and make those a hallmark of your character. Remember the team efforts you were part of and continue to seek collaborative relationships in your work and play because we are always stronger when we work together. And remember all those who helped you arrive at this moment and commit to helping others develop their potential as well. Because the more we invest in our community, the better the quality of life for all. So in spite of the craziness and hardships of this last year, or indeed maybe because of it, this can be your moment to shine. You have the training and the ingenuity to find solutions. We're counting on it, actually. You are our investment in the future, and we have every confidence that you will make a difference. So embrace this moment as you receive your master's or doctoral hood, and know that it symbolizes not just what you have accomplished this day, but also the beginning of what you will accomplish in the years to come. The faculty of this university has determined that you have met all requirements for graduation and are ready to meet your responsibilities. I join them, along with everyone at UA Little Rock, in wishing you a successful future filled with a sense of adventure, joy, and purpose. Congratulations to all of you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce to you tonight the Interim Associate Dean of the Graduate School, Dr. Karen Curl. Before she comes up, I'd just like to say, you go ahead and come up. I didn't plan this and I don't have it in the book, but Dr. Curl is the real star of the graduate school. She is a big part of your completion here and has been a great benefit to us in the graduate school and what she has brought. So thank you, Dr. Curl.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to introduce to you tonight a faculty member who has received, in my opinion, one of the highest awards given at this institution. This award is the We Heart Our Faculty Graduate Award. Nominations for this award were offered by the graduate students at UA Little Rock, with the award going to the professor in each college who received the most nominations. It's one thing to be recognized by your peers as an excellent educator, but it's even greater honor to be recognized by those whom you have devoted your time and effort to educate and support. So without further ado, I welcome to the stage Dr. Barbara Laflatiere, Professor of Rhetoric and Writing, my friend for over 30 years, and the 2021 We Heart Our Graduate Faculty Award winner for the College of Humanities, Arts, Social Sciences, and Education.
Karen, I don't know how happy I am about the fact that you're told that we've been friends for 30 years, because that makes me feel a lot older than I really am. But I am really that old. So thank you. Thank you for that introduction, and thank you very much to the GSA for nominating me, and for the Board of Visitors for selecting me for this award. As Karen said, and I said to my family, that this is the one that really counts. This is the one from the students. So when my good friend Karen Peralt emailed me to invite me to speak, she wrote, and I quote, "Your remarks need not be extensive. 5 minutes of inspirational or encouraging reflection would be sufficient for this event." Okay then, thanks Karen, no pressure whatsoever, especially at the end of the semester between grading projects, emailing final grades, and talking to students. So I have spent that last week thinking about what to say that might be inspirational or encouraging. Should I tell you about Blair Braverman's advice to someone who applied for and didn't get a new dream job? That she said that, remember, most opportunities don't pan out and there will be countless disappointments. But instead of depressing you, let that set you free. Change your measure of success. Instead of acceptance, give yourself a rejection goal. I'm going to get rejected 5 times this year. I'm going to reject 20 times or 25 times. And let success be hitting that number. Keep track. Make yourself a big chart. Put stars on it. Woo! Got rejected again. Okay? Because once you know that it's probably not going to happen, it's a lot easier to reach for the sky. Try for that overseas adventure. Submit a piece of artwork or writing or proposal somewhere where you think, this will never happen. Apply to become one of those people who live on an island by themselves for a year, right? And post on the World Wide Web about it. Apply for that wild, crazy, I could never, or wow, that would be cool opportunity. Do it. It won't happen, but you might say yes, right? Because in the end, it's about a numbers game. The more you put yourself out there, the more times you get rejected, the more opportunities are going to come along for you. It's not a one and done thing, people. It's a 20 and one done thing, okay? And sometimes putting things out there pays off for you in the future. Sometimes what you do now and the opportunities you attempt now show up later for you. But this idea of repeatedly getting rejected does not seem so inspiring to me. So maybe I should tell you one of my favorite Neil Gaiman stories. He's the author who wrote Marlena and American Gods, Good Omens, and Sandman, Graveyard Boy. All of award-winning stories, telling stories in different ways and with different genres. So Gaiman was at this fancy shindig with people who, as he said, had done great things and created great art and science. And he was worried that they would realize that he was not at all qualified to be there. He was just an author. And on his second or third night there, he started talking to a very nice elderly gentleman who shared his first name. And the man said words to this effect: I just look at all of these people and I think, what the heck am I doing here? They've made amazing things. I just went where I was sent. And Gaiman responded with, yes, Mr. Armstrong, but you were the first man on the moon, and I think that counts for a little something. And then Gaiman says, he felt a lot better about being there. Because as he put it, if Neil Armstrong feels like an imposter, maybe everybody does. Maybe there aren't any grown-ups. Only people who have worked hard and gotten lucky and who are slightly out of their depth. All of us doing the best job we could, which is all we can really hope for. But again, not so inspirational. Or should I tell you practical advice like pay yourself first, because trust me, Sally Mae is always going to be there for her handout, and she does not care if you pay her first. Or she wants to be paid first, not that you get paid first. Or keep your resume up to date, and always keep a finger in the job pile, because you never know what might happen. Or that experience is just what we call mistakes that we have made in the far past, So if you want to be an expert, you need to start making a lot of mistakes right now. Or even that making your bed every morning is a good idea, because you'll have done at least one thing a day. And let's face it, having a made bed at home at night, that's a good thing. Maybe I should inspire you to be kind to people, because being kind is an act of resistance in a world that loves cruelty. Or I should encourage you, as Audre Lorde said, that caring for yourself is not self-indulgence. It is self-preservation, and that also is an act of political warfare. But again, not so inspiring, not so encouraging. Maybe I should remind you of what Mr. Rogers did during his Lifetime Achievement Awards at the 1997 Daytime Emmys, when he talked about all the people who had helped him come to this place where he was on the stage at that moment. He said to the audience, "All of us have special ones who have loved us into being. Would you take, along with me, 10 seconds to think of the people who have helped you become who you are, who have loved you and wanted what's best for you? Whoever it is you've been thinking about, how pleased they must be to know the difference you feel they've made. Who loved you into being? Who helped you during this journey through higher education? Who told you to do it? Who said, I have faith in you? Who can you love into being?" Or perhaps I should inspire you by telling you that we are at a point in history that demands action from all of us, that you have the capacity to shape our nation for the next 100 years, that these times, like those of the Civil Rights Movement, demand action, and that those actions will reverberate. That your work, whether that's in the arts, in teaching, in sociology, in political science, in writing, in whatever shape and form it takes, has an impact on who we will be as a state, a country, a nation. But again, none of that seems sufficiently inspirational or encouraging. So again, thanks, Karen. Thanks for the pressure. So let me say this. Whenever you need inspiration or encouragement, look into the mirror. You, all of you are the inspiration. You who have finished your MAs or your MSs or your doctorate degrees during this almost unprecedented pandemic, who have had to shift to online classes, even if it was something you had no experience with or interest in, whether as a student or as a teacher, and who succeeded regardless. And you did this all while balancing work and family and church, and for many of you, falling ill with COVID or having to grieve someone or multiple someones who have either fallen ill to COVID or you have lost to COVID. Perhaps it was someone who loved you into being. You have done all of this. When you are faced with overwhelming situations, remember that you are here now, having triumphed, having succeeded in a very difficult thing. You have done a hard thing. You are the inspiration. You are the role model. You are the one to look to. I know that I speak for all the UAR Little Rock faculty when I say that it has been an honor to learn with you, and it is a privilege to have walked with you on this journey. So go forth, make whole bunches of mistakes, get rejected a lot, and do amazing things. Congratulations. Thank you.
Great words. Thank you for that. At this time, I would like to invite Dr. Erin Finzer, Associate Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, to the stage to deliver her remarks, after which she will present the candidates for degrees.
Thank you. Good evening, graduates of our graduate certificates, master's, and doctoral programs in the College of Humanities, Arts, Social Sciences, and Education. First, I should just say I don't think it's fair that I should have to go after Barb. But as I continue with my remarks, I would like to take a moment just to applaud your accomplishments during and despite this incredibly hard past 14 months. You all are amazing. I wish we could be honoring your hard work and dedication with a traditional ceremony tonight, but I'm glad that we can be here together and that your families and your support networks can be here via live stream to officially commemorate the conferral of your degrees and your certificates. We really need moments like these, however different, to celebrate and commemorate rites of passage as we move forward as a community in this pandemic. Things may never go back to being the same, but there are certain rituals and celebrations that we must continue to observe however we can. Thinking of how things must go on, however differently, I'd like to share an insight with you that I experienced recently. I was in a professional development session about creating more equitable mathematics pathways for college freshmen. And a staff member from a different institution remarked, "Those who work, learn." Her comment was not remarkable. Nobody seemed to notice it, but it really resonated with me. It's perhaps one of the most important statements about education and life in general that I've heard not only during this pandemic, but really in my career as an educator. Clearly, you all have worked extraordinarily hard during these past 14 months and even before, as you've earned your degrees and achieved these measures of accomplishment in fields that impassion you. But more importantly, as we tread through the uncertain waters of the months and years to come, and what is hopefully the aftermath of COVID-19, we know, as Dr. Berry and Dr. Drill have said, that we must continue to learn. And to learn, as you know, requires hard work. So I hope that tonight, as you celebrate the work and sacrifice that you have put into earning these credentials, that you will also commit yourselves to a lifetime of work and learning and continuing to solve the problems that confront us in health, technology, and in our communities as we try to make this world a better place for ourselves and for our children. When I graduated with my PhD, I was advised that a doctoral degree only prepares one for becoming a self-motivated scholar. You'd think Brian Berry and I are friends or something. I don't know, but we do talk about these things. This is not untrue for master's students or graduate students who've earned a certificate either. Indeed, your degrees are really worthless if you do not strive to continue to develop yourselves and to learn every day how you can better serve your community, your disciplines, and your students. We need you. We cannot yet imagine the challenges and problems that we are going to have to tend to in our communities and in our career paths and in our fields of study in the years to come. So I urge you tonight to keep working, keep learning, and know that UA Little Rock, not to mention a global network of scholars that you're being inducted into this evening, will continue to support you in your vocations. We must all rededicate ourselves to continuing to constantly working and learning. But for tonight, let us simply celebrate being together in person and to celebrating your incredible milestones. Congratulations to you and to all those who have supported you in your journey towards your degrees. And so at this time, I ask that all candidates for graduate certificates, masters, specialists, and doctoral degrees, please rise and remain standing. Chancellor Drill, on the recommendation of the faculty, I hereby declare that these persons have completed all requirements for their respective degrees and certificate programs. And I take pleasure in presenting them to you as candidates for the degrees for which they have been recommended.
By the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the University of Arkansas, and upon the recommendation of the faculty, I confer upon each of you the degree for which you have been recommended, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereunto. You may now move the tassel from the right side to the left side of your cap. Okay, I think we can clap now. And you may now please be seated.
We will now introduce the graduates for the presentation of their diplomas. Once you have received your diploma, please exit through this door and make your way to the photo station just down the hall for your official graduation photo. They will be professionally taken photographs. They will be given to you free of charge with a really nice backdrop down there. One of the things that I ask that you do is that everyone go to the photo station and you stay in order as you go. This will make sure that you get your picture and not your neighbor's picture when we send those out via email. Congratulations again to all of you. Will the graduates receiving their doctoral degree please approach the stage? Each graduate will be hooded by his or her doctoral advisor and will receive their diploma from Dr. Sarah Beth Estes, Dean of the College. If you are a hooding faculty member, you can approach the stage with your doctoral student. Claudia Crespo, Doctor of Philosophy in Reading. Dissertation was titled The Relationship Between Derivational Morphology and Reading Comprehension for Spanish-Speaking Language Minority Students in 5th grade. Tamara Gatewood Williams, Doctor of Philosophy in Reading, hooded by Dr. William Kearns. Dissertation titled Using the Transactional Reading Theory to Galvanize the Meaning of Construction Process and Promote 4th grade students' reading comprehension, cognition, and motivation. Tasha Boozer Hines, Doctor of Philosophy in Reading, hooded by Dr. William Kearns, with a dissertation titled Relationship Between Early Childhood Environment in ECERS Preschools and NWEA Reading Student Performance. Aubrey Holt, Doctor of Education in Higher Education, hooded by Dr. Greg Barrett. The dissertation titled Co-Curricular Programs, The Social Return on Investment. Edwina Mosby, Doctor of Education in Higher Education, hooded by Dr. James Vanderpool, with a dissertation titled Grade Inflation, Understanding the Long-Term Effects for College Graduates. Will the graduates receiving the specialist degree, master's degree, or graduate certificate please approach the stage? Again, once you receive your diploma, please proceed through these doors and down the hall to have your photograph taken. Aya Abdel Fattah, Masters of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies. Kaladash Adahakari, Masters of Arts in Applied Communication Studies. Mia Koto, Masters of Education, Middle Education. Jennifer Bird, Masters of Arts in Professional Technical Writing. Ebony Duran, Masters of Public Administration. Felice Jure Gardner, Masters of Education, Counselor Education. Lisa Garrett, Masters of Education, Special Education. Cassie Jo Gehring, Masters of Public Administration. Carol Kimmery, Masters of Arts in Higher Education. Terrence Langford, Masters of Education, Rural Urban School Leadership. Nicole Lewis Freeman, Masters of Arts, Mass Communications. Angela Lowe, Masters of Public Administration. Carmen McNutt, Masters of Education, Rural Urban School Leadership. Severon Miller, Masters of Education, K-12 Education. Mary Melissa Miller, Masters of Arts, Art History. Nellie Effa Otu, Masters of Public Administration. Kadrin Roberts, Masters of Education, Learning Systems Technology. Susan Shade, Masters of Arts, Mass Communications. Winter Lorraine Ruth, Master of Arts, Mass Communications. Jo Marie Smith, Master of Arts, Professional and Technical Writing. Faith Thomas, Masters of Public Administration. Marina Estela Criollo Venturas. Masters of Public Administration. I started to ask my friend Dr. Finzer to help me out with that prior. Lauren Waldrop, Masters of Arts, Applied Communication. Regina Washington, Masters of Education, K-12 Education. Catherine Wilson, Masters of Arts in Art. Emily Summers Yarberry, Masters of Arts, Public History. Benjamin Eggleton, Masters of Arts, Interdisciplinary Studies. Odette Koo, Masters of Arts, Applied Communication Studies. Sandhya Frema Amoako, Masters of Public Administration. I'll just now address the faculty since that's all that's left in the room. Thank you all for the work that you've done. Every single graduate that moves across this stage is evidence of your hard work and your dedication to your profession. And so I thank you so much for the work that you do day in and day out, much of which is not rewarded, but all of which is appreciated. Thank you so much. Thank you for those of you at home who have joined us. Thank you to our distinguished guests near the stage. I appreciate you working with me to try to make an event that was memorable for our students, and hopefully, come this fall, we will have another memorable event, but where parents and guests and loved ones can also join in with us. So thank you so much, and I appreciate you coming. That concludes our ceremony.